What up, though? What up, though, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Uncle Chon, the podcast. Yeah, I'm Uncle Chon, and I am glad to be here with you this evening. I'm glad to be anywhere. And first order of business is I'd like to say rest in peace to Reverend Jesse Jackson, who passed away. Whether you liked him or didn't like him, you have to admit that the man made his mark in this world. So we salute you, my brother, and rest in peace. Now, the next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to kick a little black fact with you. A brother by the name of John H. Smith in 1897 created the lawn sprinkler. We salute that brother for his contribution to the world and to the beautification of our lawns. John H. Smith. All right. I hope everybody's doing well out there. If you are FBA, you know the mission. Chill out. If you, listen, I've been seeing a lot of rhetoric, banter, and bullshit online. And I listen to different people's podcasts and lives and stuff, and I just sit back. And the thing that amazes me is when the term FBA became relevant and people started using it, it was explained that FBA, Foundational Black American, it is not a group. It is not, there's no leader. There's no foundation. There's none of that. It's a lineage. If you can trace your ancestry back to at least the 1870 census here in America, you are foundational Black American.
Very well.
Now, no matter how many times that is explained, when you listen to a lot of these podcasts and lives and you go into some of these rooms, you get these black immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean, and they call in over and over and over and over again, and they keep asking the same questions. What is this FBA? Why are you being so divisive? And all of that. And it's just ridiculous. Because you know what it is. You've been told. You're not that dumb. Remember, you guys are smarter than us. You work hard. And all of that. But you can't seem to comprehend because you keep calling. You keep agitating and acting like you just can't comprehend. And what the hell do you care anyway? What somebody else called. You don't get mad at Jamaicans who have African descent for calling themselves Jamaican. You don't get mad at Haitians who have African descent calling themselves Haitians. You know why? Because these people are their own after they've been there, they have their own ways. They become their own, that's their own lineage. And why is it that you get mad because somebody calls themselves something and you can't be included in it. For a fact, Africans, Caribbeans, they come over here, and when they came over here, they separated themselves from us. They were told, don't mix with us, don't hang out with us, don't date us, don't be friends with us. And you guys started undermining us. And you know you did this. And you called us derogatory names. And you guys get mad because when you were a kid, somebody called you an African booty scratcher. Guess what? I got called an African booty scratcher too. Yeah, and a whole lot of other names. And a whole lot of other names. Because in foundational black culture, that's what we do. We crack on each other. That's how you're part of the group. You one of the boys now. When you get cracked on, you crack back. Whether they call it playing the dozens, some places call it joning, some people call it cracking, some people call it, there's all different, we got so many different names for it because it's part of our culture. But a lot of you Caribbeans and Africans, when you got cracked on or joned on or somebody played the dozens on you, you cry like a bitch. And here you is, a grown-ass man still talking about somebody they talked about me when I was a child. Punk. Everybody got talked about. It didn't matter who you were. You could be pretty, ugly, skinny, tall, fat, dumb, smart, dark skin, light skin, middle complected, buck teeth, perfect teeth. It didn't matter. You got cracked on. Everybody got cracked on. I seen one of the finest chicks in the school get cracked on. You know? And nobody was above it. Shit. So for you to be grown and still talking about that and holding resentment over that, come on now. Shit. Some of the things my friends said to me, cracking on me, man, come on. But my point is that you people know what it is, and you keep on, and then you keep talking about somebody being divisive because we're gatekeeping our culture and our lineage. Now we're being divisive. That is ridiculous. And it's not going to work because it's already, we doing it's in full swing. That's it. So call it what you want. And if you get mad because you're getting called a tether, stop acting like a damn tether. Because every Caribbean or African immigrant is not a tether. I know plenty of good people from Ghana. I know some good brothers and sisters from Senegal. Love talking to them. Love talking to them. So it's not everybody. It's a percentage of you people who came over here and you let the white supremacists, you let them guide your thinking, and you got away with a lot for a long time. You got away with talking shit to us, talking down to us, separating yourself from us, telling your sons and daughters, don't date us, don't bring one of those niggas home. Yeah. You know it. And now we giving it back to you the way you've been giving it to us. And you know what? It's always been like that. People do not like when you treat them the way that they treat you. Somebody could be treating you fucked up, and the minute you give them back the same energy, oh, you doing me wrong. Why you doing me like that? Huh? I'm doing you exactly like you did me. And that's the way you should do people when they treat you bad anyway. Treat them exactly the same way they treat you. And that's what we're doing. And you don't like it. And perhaps you'll learn from it. And you'll change your ways and we can really get together. But you're going to have to make some amends. You're going to have to make some amends. You're going to have to ride for us. You're going to have to help us push for our reparations. You're going to have to help us push for an anti-hate black crime bill. You're going to have to be down with us for a while. Some of our causes. Then we can have a so-called come to Jesus meeting and negotiate the terms of camaraderie. But until you make some forward gestures other than talking shit and trying to convince somebody that delineation is wrong and calling yourself an FBA, that you is being divisive, as long as you do that, we're going to turn our back on you like a disgraced Klingon. Turn your fucking back on you. As long as y'all keep cooning and sucking up to you know who and trying to put on a show out for them, we ain't messing with you. We ain't got time for that. We got things to do. We moving forward. You know what I mean? That's right. That's right. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, I want to talk about the mentality of people who choose to be in law enforcement. I want to talk about a lot of the people that choose law enforcement, whether it's police, sheriff, state police, FBI, CIA, any of the alphabets, whether it's a prison CO. I think a lot of these people have the wrong type of mentality, the wrong type of character. Now, I'm going to deal with the black people first, because I know this better than I do everybody else. But in my opinion, from what I witnessed, and I'm not saying every black cop or person who wants to be a cop, every black person who wanted or wants to be a cop or became a cop is like this, but I'm saying a significant portion of them were punk ass motherfuckers that got picked on at school. Yes, a lot of them were punk ass motherfuckers that got picked on at school, they got chased home after school, they couldn't get no girls, that was laughed at, ridiculed, punks. Yeah. And they actually became cops so they could bully. Yeah. I believe some of them They want to run into people they went to school with and drag them out the car and beat them up and arrest them and put some fake charges on them and all of that. No, that ain't funny. That's not a joke. I'm not joking. I swear I'm not. I'm not. Listen. I've had a little police contact in my life. And I have to say, now, I got beat up by a couple of cops and a couple of bouncers at a nightclub in Florida. But other than that, the two other worst times I've had dealing with cops were with black cops.
Huh?
Yeah. Matter of fact, the worst I've ever been threatened was by a black cop.
Huh?
I mean, you remember that scene in Boys in the Hood where the cop had Trey and he pulled his pistol out and he's gritting his teeth? The only difference between what happened to me and what happened to Trey on Boys in the Hood was the guy didn't pull his gun out on me. But this sucker was gritting his teeth for nothing. I made the mistake, and it was the last time that I ever done this. But I called the police.
Huh?
Yep. My dumb ass called the police. And when they got there, they tried everything in their power to arrest me.
Huh?
Yes. Yes.
What?
Yes. And I vowed. Matter of fact, I told the police, I will never, ever, ever call you again unless it's for insurance purposes, because I have to make a report. And that's the only time I've dealt with the police since.
What?
That black police officer, for some odd reason I don't know, he told me he wanted to ruin my life. He told me, you're lucky I'm not the primary officer on this call, because if I was, I'd charge you with a bunch of stuff and ruin your life and make you lose your job and all of this stuff. And was gritting his teeth. He was like this. And I was like, what? I said, what kind of a black man says that to another black man who, you know, I haven't done nothing. I called you. And this bastard, that's what he had in his heart. And I could look at him and I knew exactly what kind of dude he was, because I would have whooped his ass. And this was quite a bit of time ago. I was a lot younger then. I would have broke him up. He looked like he'd had a lot of ass whoopings in his life. He looked like the high school punk. I ain't even gonna call him a nerd. He looked like a punk ass motherfucker. And he looked like one of those people who became a cop to get even with everybody who ever teased him or chased him home or beat his ass. Ain't no telling how many people's lives he's ruined. How many people he's cuffed up and then beat them up. Ran into another cop one time. I was in the wrong. I made an illegal turn. It was one of those intersections where you can make the turn, but not between this hour and this hour. And it was like 30 minutes till, and I was trying to, well, I was wrong. And I made the turn, and this son of a bitch, you would have thought that I had just robbed a bank. This joker pulled his car all, like, instead of getting behind me and flashing the light, he went in front of me and blocked the road. Like you do when it's a fucking robbery suspect or somebody who just shot something up or something. And jumped out the car all crazy and shit. This little motherfucker. And he was like in his late 40s, losing his hair, still working, and he was in a traffic cop car. Oh, bust ass motherfucker. Yeah. And he come up there and he yelling. And I'm like, and I already had my shit out. And he did some fucked up shit during that stop that I ain't gonna go into. But he did something that was really, he threatened to call backup on me. He threatened to call backup on me. And this was for a traffic ticket. So he ends up giving me the traffic ticket. So in Detroit, this happened in the city of Detroit. Most of the time, if it's a traffic ticket, you go down to court, the cop don't show up, they dismiss it. Or if they do show up, between you, the judge, and the cop, they usually end up either reducing the ticket or just saying, just pay the court costs and you can go. It's always a deal. Let me tell you something. I went down there and I went in that courtroom and it was a lot of people in there. It was probably about 30, 40 people in there. And my last name is B, right? Well, I'm thinking they go in alphabetical order or are they going in the order that people say? I don't know. But I started noticing everybody's case was getting dismissed. None of the cops showed up. And the courtroom is getting emptier and emptier and emptier. And pretty soon, it's only me and one other person in the courtroom. And his cop showed up. And the judge asked him, do you want to work something out with him or whatever? And they went back to the back of the courtroom and they talked. They came back and basically, and he had a lot worse ticket than I did because his ticket would have been like $500-600 and they cut it down to like $100 and $40 court costs, And I'm the last motherfucker sitting in the courtroom. And I'm thinking, oh, good, I'm finna go. I'm finna get dismissed. And guess who showed up?
Huh?
The only motherfucker that showed up. Yeah. Slept Rock. The only motherfucker that showed up. This damn near 50-year-old traffic cop. And he showed up and the judge asked him the same thing she asked the last motherfucker and he said, no, I want to proceed. I believe there's no way in the world I just got the luck of the draw when I'm the last motherfucker in the courtroom. That bastard called up there and made that judge call me last so he could make it up in there. Just to fucking make sure I paid that goddamn ticket. So I seen the setup. So when I get up there, I told the judge, I said, you know what? I plead no contest. I don't even want to go through none of this. I'll just pay the ticket. Yeah. And I went out there and I went to the cashier window and I paid the little $100 and whatever dollars it was. And me and this old bastard walked out together. And the whole time we walking out, I'm talking about his ass. I'm like, what kind of cop your age is still on traffic duty? You must be the worst one in the whole police force. I'm like, you ain't shit. You a fuck up, ain't you? He wouldn't say nothing. Because I'm going to tell you, man, let me tell you. And then we was parked right next to each other. I said, this motherfucker liable to pull me over when we pull out the parking lot. What a bastard. And this was a black cop. He probably was an African or Caribbean. Usually you can tell by the hairline, but he didn't. His hair was balding. But he damn sure he didn't act like one of us. Goddamn it, because I didn't do nothing to him. When he pulled me over, he already had attitude. He did the old Starsky and Hutch, pull in front of the traffic, stop. He got like 6 people behind me, all stopped for an illegal turn. Yeah, that's the mentality of a lot of these people who choose to join law enforcement. A lot of them, they just want to bully and beat up and cause problems and havoc. A lot of them pull over women and try to hit on them. I think that's some hoe ass shit, really. But I know plenty of women who have told me that they've been pulled over by police officers just so the police officer could try to get their phone number. I mean, to me, I don't know. Put it this way. If a female police officer pulled me over, I'd be mad that she pulled me over and I ain't giving her shit. Shit. Really. Shit, you got my motherfucking heart racing for nothing. Shit. But I think the white officers, a lot of them, now think about this. If you're a white police officer and you volunteer to go police the black neighborhood, it's probably because you're a racist son of a bitch. Because a lot of white officers, they've never been around no black people. The only thing they know about black people is what they see on TV, hear on the news, and what the other racist white folks say. That's it. That's all they know. So they don't know nothing. And they volunteer to go to the black neighborhood so at some point they can get a chance to harm some black people. You got police gangs, racist, white supremacist gangs within the police departments. And you know the sad thing about all that, I don't really expect much out of white people. I don't. When I meet a good white person, I'll be like, golly, okay. I'm very surprised usually. Because I'm a good judge of character. I can tell who's got a genuinely good heart, who's got a little bit of character about themselves. And sometimes you can look at somebody and you will judge them by the way they look or whatever, and they not even nothing like that. It's when you talk to somebody and you get to know them, that's when you can tell what they're about. A lot of the white police officers, they want to harm a black person because they think there's a good chance they'll get away with it. And they want to go down to the black part of town and they want to chase people and they want to beat them up and they want to arrest them and they want to plant drugs on them. They want to catch them with something. They want to do all of this. And the black officers cover for them. And that's what makes you a bad officer, is that you cover for the crap. You afraid to go tell that you saw Officer O'Reilly planting drugs on that suspect. And a lot of the cops, what they do is they dehumanize you. And even when they're off duty, because I've been around some off-duty cops, and I had to tell them, because they was referring to people as perps. Regular people who ain't done nothing. Possible perp. Perp. Civilian. I'm like, motherfucker. Yeah. And that's, man, let me tell you, I don't, if you know anything about police officers, you let me tell you, drunks, spousal abusers, a lot of them do commit crimes to enrich themselves. Do they get into it for the right reason? I believe there's a percentage that get into law enforcement because they truly want to help the community. They want to help people. They got an ideal of being, Officer Joe friendly. And then when they get in there, the culture is that of them against us. But here's the thing. I think that they need to get rid of that, what is it? What do they call it? Where the cops, dissent decree, qualified immunity. They need to get rid of that. And they need to stop when the police officers commit crimes and they sue. The city should not, or the state or whoever, shouldn't be on the hook for all those millions of dollars. The union, the police union, should have to pay that out the pension fund. And I guarantee you a lot of that shit will stop. If they have to pay out those settlements out of the police pension fund, oh, let me tell you, it won't be no unarmed shooting going on. That'll stop damn near immediately. You might have one time, and after they see what happened, and the rest of them cops be like, motherfucker, you fucking our shit up. See, that's what needs to happen. The city pays. Now you name another job where you can cost your job millions of dollars and you still be employed. Police officers, the only job you can do that. You can cost them millions of dollars and you still go to work. Still work there. I don't get it. Any other job, they throw you out in your ass until you don't never come back. Shit. You cost them a couple $1,000s. You got some of these cops that had 3-4 lawsuits on their ass. I don't get it. But like I say, as long as the city got to pay for it, no. Take that, at least tell them the city pay half and the police union pay half, and see what happens. Oh, they'll start using a little bit more discernment before they pull that trigger, or before they pull that nightstick out and start swinging it, or before they start tasing people 9 to 10 times, or using a whole can of pepper spray on somebody, cuffing somebody up ultra tight and leaving them in the back of a hot police car for a couple of hours. Insane, cruel, barbaric behavior. But there's no consequences to it, really. If you're going to keep your job and the city's going to pay out and you get put on desk duty for 2 weeks and that's your punishment, that ain't shit. And you just killed somebody for nothing. That's a hell of a damn near good deal. Shit. I think they need to figure out a better way of screening the people that they get in law enforcement. And don't even get me started on some of them prison COs, the stuff that I be hearing online. Shit. Man, look here. Some of them cats, they worse than the police officers because they inside of a prison and they are taking advantage of incarcerated people in every way that you can take advantage of somebody. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this right now. If you have a brother or a sister, if you have a loved one or a friend that's incarcerated, check on them. Check on them. You know, write them a letter, call down to where they're incarcerated and find out what's going on with them. Let the people know that somebody care about them because they're in there making people, they're torturing people. They're causing intentional sufferation or suffrage or whatever the word is. If it's bad, it's that. So if you know somebody that's in there, check on them. If you care about them, if you like them, check on them, call. Because I'm telling you, it's some crazy shit going on. And it don't make no sense. You already locked up, doing your time. You shouldn't have to worry about living and dying, or you shouldn't have to worry about getting your ass cracked open. You should just be in there and be allowed to serve your time until you get out. Your safety shouldn't be at risk every day, all day. That's 2 punishments. Then when you get out, they punish you again. Now you're a convicted felon and that follows you. They can tell you where you can live and where you can't live and what kind of job you can work and all, you know, what kind of certifications and stuff you can get. That is not right to punish somebody. If listen, if it's certain crimes, yeah, you should be in prison. You should never get out. You might even need an ass whooping or two. I don't know. But for the most part, you don't need to be torturing somebody that's in prison or jail. They should be protected. The other inmates should not be allowed to prey on the weaker inmates. That is, like I say, that's 2 punishments. Well, let me go ahead and end this because I don't like to go too long because, you know, even though I like talking, I know everybody don't want to sit up and listen to me talk all day and night, you know. Shit. Yeah. So this has been another episode of Chopping It Up with Uncle Chon, the podcast. I'm Uncle Chon, and remember this podcast right here was written, directed, produced, performed, arranged and funded by me, Uncle Chon. Peace!